She said it with a smile. That mocking, entitled little smirk that didn't even resemble her anymore. At least Mom's new husband isn't a poor loser like you. The clink of silverware froze midair. Her voice, too loud, too polished, cut through the stillness of my kitchen like a serrated knife. My ex-wife sat at the end of the table, swirling her wine with smug satisfaction, like she hadn't just fed those very same words to our daughter days earlier. I didn't respond. I just chewed my food slowly, swallowed hard, and reached for my water as if I had just been gutted in front of the only two people I once called my family. That's when the real silence began. Not the awkward, lingering kind that filled the room. This one was deeper. It started inside me. There was a time Sarah used to run straight into my arms after ballet class. Her tiny feet blistered from the studio floor, her cheeks flushed and glowing, her breath full of dreams. "You're my hero, Daddy," she'd whisper. And I believed her. Even after the divorce, I stayed close. I paid for everything, her tuition, her car, that summer program in Paris she loved to brag about to her friends. All of it came from my quiet sacrifices. Skipped vacations. Long workdays. Ignored needs. I never complained. Not once. Not even when Laura left me for a man with an empty smile and a loaded credit card. Not even when she slowly and meticulously poisoned Sarah with tales of my bitterness, my shortcomings, my failures. I watched the transformation happen in real time, one comment at a time. And I lost her. But I held on to hope. Hope that one day, she'd see through it. Then came that dinner. That night, hope died. Not with screaming or slammed doors, but with indifference. With silence. The betrayal wasn't loud. It was subtle. It showed in the way Sarah stopped hugging me. The way she rolled her eyes when I asked how school was going. In how she casually started calling her mother's new husband Dad, right in front of me. But it wasn't until I saw the tuition receipt, paid not by me but by him, that the knife twisted deep. I had been removed from the financial portal. Frozen out, but not my money. That's when everything shifted. That's when I stopped hoping. Stopped waiting to be recognized. They had mistaken my silence for surrender. Laura always believed I was too passive, too polite, too soft-spoken to ever challenge the life she rebuilt on my dime. But she forgot. I was the one who funded that life. She forgot I knew how it was constructed and how to dismantle it. So I began. First, I called the bank and froze the education fund. It was opened in my name. Legally, it belonged to me. Laura had never read the fine print. She just assumed, as always, that I'd keep paying quietly to keep the peace. Next, I called the dealership. Sarah's car was leased under my business account. I canceled the contract and had it towed from her school parking lot at dawn. Then I turned to her university account. I revoked my access credentials. Shut down the meal plans. Dorm expenses. Book allowances. I rerouted all correspondence to my private email. Sarah wouldn't be able to register for fall classes, not until the outstanding balance was paid. And then I waited. The panic hit at exactly 6:43 p.m. Laura called first. Her voice trembled, trying to sound angry through the fear. "What did you do?" Sarah called me crying. "Her car isn't working. It's gone. What the hell is wrong with you?" I paused, took a breath, and answered with a calm that only comes when you've had enough. "I stopped sponsoring disrespect. You can't just." "I can. I did. And I will again, if you keep pushing." The silence on her end was exquisite. "You're punishing your daughter." "No," I said. "I'm teaching her that actions have consequences, just like yours did." She hung up, and I smiled for the first time in months. 2 days later, Sarah came back. Not for a visit, to beg. She stood on my porch, eyes puffy, nails chewed down to nothing. Wearing clothes I didn't recognize, probably borrowed. Gone was the polished, high-end version of her I had come to know. For the first time in years, she looked small. Real. "I need help," she whispered. I said nothing. Then she broke. Tears poured down her face. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It was just a joke." Mom said she told me you wouldn't care. I looked at her. Really looked. Not at the girl who had flung my love aside for someone else's approval. Not at the teenager who treated my sacrifices like spare change. I saw the little girl I once tucked in at night. The one who cried after her first school play, terrified I wouldn't be proud. I never wanted you to love me for money, I said softly. But I won't let you hate me and still take from me. I don't hate you, she cried. I was stupid. I thought. She trailed off. I just wanted to fit in. I didn't mean what I said at dinner. Yes, you did, I replied. And that's okay. Now you'll learn what it costs. I didn't hand her the keys. I didn't write a check. I gave her something far more valuable. Responsibility. She got a part-time job. Moved in with a friend. For the first time in her life, she began to understand the true cost of cruelty, of entitlement. Laura kept calling, leaving voicemails. Some were furious, others pleading. I never answered, but I listened to every word. You're ruining her life. No, I was saving her from yours. Months passed. Sarah's texts became shorter, quieter. She stopped asking for money. She started sending updates instead. A photo with her coworkers. A textbook she bought used. A simple thank you for being tough on her when she needed it most. She was learning. And Laura? She stopped calling the day her husband's business imploded. Turns out it was built on loans and lies. Her Instagram went silent. No more yacht selfies. No more curated power couple posts. I never lifted a finger. I simply stepped away and let gravity do the rest. People think revenge is loud, explosive. But the most satisfying kind? It's silent. Precise. It doesn't destroy, it reveals. And when the dust finally settles, the ones who betrayed you see who you really were all along. Not weak. Just patient. And now, you're done waiting.